Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chia, and today I'm going to be doing a quick video talking about the 10 books I want to read before the end of 2025. So let's get started. There's like multiple books I want to read this year, but I think the one that I want to read the most are books that came out this year that was very buzzed about, and also anticipated releases that are coming out in the last 2 months of the year. A lot of them are coming out this month, so that's included as well. But let's start with the anticipated releases this year. The next release that I want to pick up is Strength of the Few by James Islington, and I'm currently in the middle of reading The Will of the Many, and I just want to be a part of like the discussions when The Strength of the Few finally comes out, because I heard The Will of the Many ends with such a huge cliffhanger and such a twist that everyone's shocked, and I want to see what the fuss is about. So of course that's what I want to read, and it's based on a magic system that involves will, and I guess the higher you go in the hierarchy for this like tier system, the more will you will be using for magic. I don't know, I'm not too sure about the magic system, so it's very complicated. That's what I heard. That's what the gist is right now. And I guess like it follows a character named Biz, and he gets adopted by one of these like more prominent people in this society, and so he ends up trying to task him with becoming sort of like a spy for him. Also, I don't think we even really know his real name. Viz is the name that was given to him, so he ends up like infiltrating the school, and I can't wait to see how that goes. So of course The Strength of the Many is gonna be a part of my 10 before the end, but technically 11 before the end because I can't narrow anything down. The second one is of course Brimstone by Callie Hart. I cannot wait till Brimstone comes out. It's one of my most anticipated reads of this year. Brimstone is a sequel to Quicksilver. I absolutely fell in love with Quicksilver last year. I seriously thought I wouldn't like it, but I fell in love with Kingfisher. I thought his name was weird, I really did, but the mouth on this man, and also it's a alchemy kind of based magic, because that's the kind of magic that the female main character has. If you have not read Quicksilver and you are looking for a fun time with a man who will make you blush because of how dirty his mouth is, and a really good and cool magic system, and also a little companion that is like sort of like a fox, it's so good. It's so good. It's probably not going to be for everyone, but I absolutely fell in love with it, and it was one of my 6-star reads of last year. So I've been highly anticipating Brimstone to come out because of how it ended. It wasn't necessarily like sort of like a huge cliffhanger, it's just the things that happen at the end I just want to know more of, and I want to know more of this world, so I can't wait to pick that up. And then the last release that I cannot wait for it to come out is Dawn of Chaos and Fury by Melissa K. Rourke. It's the last book in the Legacy series. The Legacy series is one of my favorite series of all time. It's such a well fleshed out world. I love the magic system in it. I love that it's so different from other fantasy books that I've read before. It's more of a dark fantasy romance kind of like book. It deals with like a very vengeful female main character. She's so reckless, she's at points unreliable sometimes, and also it deals with like her kind of like feelings with 2 of the male main characters in this book. I do have the arc that I'm planning to read soon. I'm so excited to read it. I got it back in August, but I wanted to wait till the actual month that it was coming out because I wanted to wait to discuss it with other people who don't have the arc, and I'm just kind of like anxious to see it end. There's so much I am anticipating for it. I know it's going to be 5-star either way because I've given every single one of the books in this series a 5-star because I love it so much. The characters are so good, and also it's in the same universe of Lady of Darkness. I know there's a lot of people who have questions about whether you need to read Lady of Darkness before you read the Legacy series. Melissa K. Rourke has made it so you don't have to read that series beforehand because it is in the same universe and it's not necessarily connected whatsoever. It's just that it makes the world a lot easier to understand if you read Lady of Darkness, and Lady of Darkness series is one of my favorite series also. I love Legacy series a lot more than Lady of Darkness, but the side characters in that book is amazing, and also if you want to like get like a better introduction into the world, it's better to read Lady of Darkness, but you don't have to whatsoever. Some of the characters in Lady of Darkness do end up showing up later on in the series, and when they show up you don't really know their backstory. You kind of like get spoiled about everything that happens in Lady of Darkness, but it's not necessary whatsoever. So those are my top 3 anticipated releases that are on my 10 before the end. And let's get into the physical books that I have. None of these books are on my 25 before the end. I'm slowly working my way through the 25 before 2025, but it's not turning out too well. So we shall see how many books I actually end up like getting into. The next book I want to get into is Catabasis, I think it's Catabasis by Arv Kwong. This follows a character who is a graduate student, and she and another character end up going into hell to save their professor. I don't know much beyond that point. I want to go into it blind because I went into Babel blind. I just knew like the gist of it, like like the basic of it, of like the characters, and I want to go into this one blind too. I heard mixed things about it, but I'm sure I will like it because of the writing. I love books that are academic based. So we shall see, and I will talk about it maybe in one of my future vlogs or something. Maybe I'll do like a sort of reading vlog, reading some of my books from my 10 before the end. If not, then you'll hear about it in my wrap up. Next book is Silver Cloak by L.K. Stevens. This is the same author of Our Infinite Fates. This is another pen name that she goes by. I think L.K. Stevens is gonna be for her like fantasy books. Laura Stevens, she wrote Our Infinite Fates, like I said, and I kind of like had an average time with it. I didn't really like the characters, but I did love the writing, so of course I said I wanted to pick up more books by Laura Stevens, and this one has been getting high praise, and it's sort of like a wand-based magic system. So this one I don't know too much about. Again, I'm choosing to go into a lot of these books blind because I do not want to hear a lot of stuff about it. I want to form my own opinions about it, and I've been anticipating these books for a while, so I do want to read it and, you know, get the feel of what I want to feel about it without any of the preconceived notions that other people give me from their reviews. But I heard that a lot of people have been giving this like high ratings, so we shall see if I like it. Next book I want to pick up is The Wind Weaver by Julie Johnson. I ended up getting the regular copy, but of course I saw the beautiful copy of Fairy Loot, and I saw that it was going for like a reasonable price on Pango, so of course I picked it up. And it's sort of like a love triangle, and it's, I guess, elemental based magic, and I've been wanting to read a lot more elemental based magic. I just want to see a new world that happens, and I think she's sort of like a wind person, elemental, and she never knew that she had magic. I think she's a halfling, I want to say, but we shall see if I like it. But yeah, another fantasy romance book that I want to get into, but I heard this is more high fantasy than it is romance, and the romance is more of a subplot, but it's like a love triangle. This year has been the year of love triangles. I've been falling into love triangles more and more, and I think I was like getting away from the whole enemies to lovers like trope because it's been so badly done with a lot of fantasy romances. So I'm getting more into love triangles, and I thought I didn't like it because like the worst one that I ever read was obviously Twilight, because that had the worst like love triangle I've ever read. A lot of these books that are coming out with the new love triangles are actually being well done, and there's not like a, oh, there's only one clear winner and you're just adding a love triangle into there for a conflict. It's actually, oh, I love both sides of the characters, and I would be happy with either one that she would want to end up with. So we shall see if I like this. The next one was another release that literally just came out a couple weeks ago at the end of October. The Wrath of the Fallen by Amber V. Nicole. This is the 4th book in the Gods and Monsters series. As you know, in my other like wrap-ups and also continuing series I'm in the middle of, I've been working my way through the series, and I'm finally caught up, and I wanted to be caught up before this book came out, and I want to read it before the end of this year because I'm tired of like letting books sit on my shelf that I could possibly read to be up to date with series, and I don't because I'm hesitant of not having another book in the series to read right afterwards. So I really need to stop doing that. I heard the ending of this is devastating, so I'm scared, but I need to read it, and it's also, her books are pretty thick. Also, this is the first book I have that's like traditionally published of this series. All the first 3 series of like are indie published, and I just like, it kind of irritates me because this one is not gonna match. Like the art print and all of that, it's gonna match, it's just it's not gonna match how shiny the indie covers are, and also the font is different too from what the indie books were. So like, I don't know if I should rebuy the first 3 books. I don't want to. I don't want to have multiple copies of the same book. I'm tired of doing that, but we shall see how much it bugs me. I'm hoping it doesn't bug me that much. I'm really hoping it doesn't. And next book is The Jasad Heir by Sarah Hashim. I'm hoping I pronounced her name correctly, but this is an Egyptian-based magic system book. It's more fantasy over like romance. Romance is again another subplot. I've been gravitating to a more like subplot of romance rather than like a full-on fantasy romance, because a lot of the fantasy romances I've read over the last couple of years have been really disappointing for me, and I've been hating the world, and also I've been like not liking the romance. So I'm like leaning towards more like high fantasy books with a subplot of romance because I want like a different experience. And all the books that I've been reading that are outside of my comfort zone, like genres like science fiction and also dark academia that has a little bit fantasies in there with just like not even like a lot of like romance in it, I've been loving a lot. I heard amazing things about this book. It's just a duology, and the second book literally came out a few months ago or a few weeks ago, something like that. So it's finished, and this is another series that I can like read. And I like the fact that it's an Egyptian based magic system. I love Egyptian history. I don't know of a lot of books that have that. that. So I want to read more of that. So yeah, just saw it air. I can't wait to pick it up. And then the next one I want to pick up is The Time of Your Life by Jessa Hastings. As you know, I love Jessa Hastings so much in her writing. I just been hesitant to pick this up because I've heard like mixed reviews on it. Like apparently both the characters are terrible, especially the male main character. And also it's said sort of like a 90s thing. So I think she's a supermodel and he is like a pop band frontman of the biggest band in the world. Okay, and her name is Isolde and he is Joa. I want to say it's Isolde. I love Jessa Hastings' writing and I have no other books to read by her, so I'm gonna pick this up because obviously I picked it up and it's a physical copy, so I have to read it. But I'm just hesitant to get into it, and it's gonna be a duology, I want to say, so I can't wait to pick this up. And then the second to last book I want to pick up is Morningstar. I need to finish the first ever trilogy in the saga before I move on to the next arc of the series. I need to finish this before the end of the year, and so I can focus next year on completing the rest of the saga because I want to be able to be caught up before Red God comes out, which is like the last book in the series, and I'm excited to read it / scared, and also devastating cliffhanger of the last book I'm so scared to get into because I started reading the first few chapters of this and I already felt emotional about it, so I wanted to wait, but I have to read this by the end of this year. And this is like focusing on more of like a Roman sort of like science fiction kind of thing. It's set in space, so if you want to pick it up, please pick it up. It's so good. And also if you have trouble getting into it, highly recommend the dramatized audios. They're amazing. And then the last book I want to get into is Dance of Lies by Brittany Arena. I want to see how good this book is. Emmy Rossum raved about this book. I guess it follows a princess who was excommunicated by her father or her uncle, something like that, and so she has to solve this problem, but she's a person who performs dances for like the royal people, and apparently dancing is a lot like of a big plot point in the story. So this one will be like the last one that I read, or not necessarily in that order, but you know what I mean. But yeah, that was my 10 before the end. If you like more videos like this, like, subscribe. It really does help my channel a lot. And then let me know what books are on your 10 before the end of the year. And I'll see you all next time. Bye!